Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is while you're watching this. And at President Evil's inauguration, you can clearly see that Mark Zuckerberg and Darren Cross from the first Ant-Man film, Jeff Bezos, are wondering if they should tell Elon Musk that he's forgotten his trousers. Not only that, the tablets in my antipsychotic medication seem to have got a lot smaller than they used to be. It seems time for a 50,000 mile review, but not of a bike. This time it's of kit, and it's the kit you normally see me in when I'm doing anything to camera, as it were, and it's an IXS Malawi jacket and touring trousers. So with the features, we get two zips on the jacket, main zips. The inner one is for the waterproof layer, the outer one is the main closing zip. You can leave the inner one undone on the occasional hot day you might actually experience wherever you live, not that we get them in Britain, and both are quality zips. Cuffs also have a zip with a velcro fastener, and you can undo the upper part of the zip for ventilation up your arm. They're not as long as some jackets, but they do give you a bit of airflow up to the armpits in warm weather. The connector zip is full length, as you can see here, which is good. The little sort of short connectors are okay, but I'd rather have a full length one in rain or crash conditions. Waist adjuster, there's one either side. They're velcro straps. They go from the lower torso to the small of the back, and there's arm adjusters as well. There's two here, one at my wrist, one at my fingertips. Adjust them for your winter clothing, then there'll be enough circulation in summer. Drawstrings are important. You need to pull these tight, otherwise you do get a bit of water go up and then drop down your trousers, which is very uncomfortable. There's a total of 3 internal pockets, 2 you can see here, a zip one and a velcro one, and on the right hand side there's a phone pocket, although most phones are going to be too big for that these days. Again, velcro closure. The outside pockets seem to be waterproof so far. I've not had any leakage. You get a zip pocket to put your hands in when you're walking about, then you get a velcro one which is quite deep, and again it does seem to be waterproof, at least so far. You also get the chip pocket, so called, because you shove your chips in there when you're going over from the chippy to keep your kidneys warm. And on the front right hand side there is another zip pocket, but unfortunately the zip broke off on one of its trips through the tumble dryer to dry it out in the rain that we get in the UK. Vents are on the front and on the back, as you would expect. They're cunningly concealed behind this little flap, and just a zip one, and you can see that they do let a bit of ventilation in there. At the rear again, they're behind little flaps, quite easy to see when you know what you're looking for. They're behind the reflective strips. Neck closure is velcro. Mine's getting a bit tired now. I need to comb out all the fluff in the hook side of it. Of course you get reflective strips. These are the ones on the front of the jacket, and these are the ones to the rear. There is a neat little bit when you put the lining in about the pockets. You can see here there's 2 strips of velcro, and what you do with these, you make the velcro up on the inside to where the flap would shut, poke the flap through the little slit in the liner, then you can velcro it to the outside. So unlike some jackets where the liner has just got a slit in it, this one you've actually got a good closing system, and it's the same on the other side. Cuffs are quite clever as well. You get 2 different coloured buttons, a black one and a red one, so you avoid the half turn of the lining as you're putting it in, and then you can't get your arm in your lining. And they go through little elastic straps, also colour coded. Annoyingly, as with pretty much every jacket, you don't get a back protector, but you get a pocket, so you buy a separate one. Fair enough, some people do wear separate back protectors, but I prefer it in the jacket. There is a little bit of scuffing on the jacket on the right hand side. I'm not really sure where this is from. I do wear a rucksack with the jacket, but it's only scuffed here, and it's not that bad actually. Moving on to the trousers, we have the matching full length zip. Every manufacturer tends to have different zips for some annoying reason. Come the revolution when I'm in charge, they'll all have to have the same type of zip, and preferably the same length. The front closure is good. You've got a press stud and a hook, both of metal, and like I say, these have lasted me 50,000 miles. There's also a fly zip, as you'd expect, with a gusset behind it and a velcro closure as well. It's difficult filming black on black, but here's one of the pockets. This is the front right hand one. Annoyingly, it's not waterproof, needs a flap over the zip. There aren't any cargo style thigh pockets on this one. There's just the 2 zipped pockets at the front. You can just about see here the wear pad on the bum, which I've not worn out yet. There are vents, of course, only front vents here, just behind the little flap. There is knee armour, annoyingly no hip armour, and the closure over your leg is a zip, again with a gusset in it and a little bit of velcro on the end. So here you can see the pocket for the hip armour, but the trousers don't actually come with the armour included. If you look on the stockists rather than IXS's own website, you'll see it's got a reputation for Swiss quality, although they are actually made in Pakistan. Not that that bothers me, as long as it's quality, and hopefully it wasn't made in sweatshop conditions. The trouser pockets not being waterproof is bloody annoying, particularly if you're caught in a downpour and you end up with a soggy wallet and a pocket full of wet change. The jacket keeps the internal pockets dry, the external pockets are dry, and unfortunately the front zipped pocket died, but it's not that big an issue, it's just an annoyance. The trousers also have a reinforcing patch over the knees as well. The armour in the trousers, the knee armour, does move. It's designed to be a height adjustable, but it does seem to creep down and need putting back effort every so often. It turns into a pair of shin pads for me. Overall, the kit's well made. It's kept me mainly dry. A few heavy downpours have let a little bit in, but I don't think there's many jackets and trouser combinations that wouldn't. They do seem to be getting quite hard to get hold of at the UK in the moment. J&S seem to be the only stockists, and when I went in the other day to have a look for some different trousers, they didn't have any in stock and everything was on the manager's sale rail, so I don't know if they're going to be stopping stocking them, but yeah, it's well made, they're reasonably priced, and I'd recommend them. As I said, I've done 50,000 miles in them and I'm still using them. Just in case you thought I was getting mellow in my old age, I do have a couple of niggles, as you would expect. The jacket sleeves are too long for Dick and too short for Richard. In other words, if you want to tuck your winter gloves inside the sleeves, they won't fully do up, and the summer gloves won't quite go over the top of the sleeves very easily. Slightly annoying, cuffs are slightly the wrong size, could do with a bit more adjustment on them. And secondly, the lining in the trousers does slightly shorten the trousers, makes them slightly tighter, which means I can't get my leg over my tracer and get both feet flat on the deck. So instead of the liner, I wear tracksuit bottoms under them, and that solves the problem. Anyway, that's all for now. Tatty bye.